You're listening to Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marci Persky. In the not-too-distant future, it will be the monsoon season up on Marci's mountain, and that means the rattlesnakes are moving in. Except that I'm not sure rattlesnakes are quite scary enough. All these delivery services, they send these hopeful messages. Like, now arriving. Like, really? I'm standing here on my porch. I was sitting with a friend in the lobby of his apartment building. I dropped off some stuff for him, and we sat in the lobby to talk. And his husband called down to his phone saying, our dinner delivery's here. And he goes up to the doorman. Is there a Nope, nobody, nothing. About 10 minutes later, somebody shows up with the dinner delivery. But all this scheduling and tracking technology, it makes you feel like they're right there. And they can fool you a whole bunch of times before you figure out, no, the dinner delivery is not really here.
Yes.
And then the one time where they're on time that screws you up totally. It's all about messing with your expectations.
Oh, I know.
I have a friend who took the train from Philadelphia to Chicago, and she told me what time the train was scheduled to come in and that I should meet her at that time, as though that time actually meant something. I said, oh, sure. And then the train does what the train does, which is about 10 minutes shy of the station. It just stops still and sits there. And when the train finally did arrive 3 hours late, the poor woman actually apologized to me as though this was somehow her fault. This is how schedules make you into a crazy person. First for believing them, and then you congratulate yourself and you think, I know their game. I can't believe them when my dinner is supposed to be here, or my package is supposed to be here, or my cable is supposed to be here. I know what this really means. Ha ha ha. And then that one time they're on time and you become the lunatic.
I hate being early because then I'm stuck waiting for whoever's picking me up. Because whoever's picking me up is never early.
See, that's because people like you better. Nobody picks me up. Or as you may recall, I end up stuck on the damn red light.
Yeah, we don't have any red lines out here.
No, somebody has to.
You're either picked up or you're walking.
Right, no Uber, no Lyft. That's right.
Yep.
No Uber, no Lyft. So you're in a mud bog.
Yeah, mud and wind.
Mud and wind.
Except that we do get our monsoon season.
Speaking of monsoon seasons, you were just telling me about some kind of weird, it was the spiders, the flying spiders that you were telling me about.
Yeah, they're supposed to hit the East Coast.
Yes, and I did see the pictures of them. They look like a box of Crayolas in the form of a spider, by the way.
They're nasty.
They look like they're brightly colored green and yellow. They're like some, kids like weird combinations of colors.
Mm-hmm.
And so they look like a kid colored in a spider with green and yellow. That's what they look like. So now I've seen the pictures of them. But seeing as it's spring and you said it was rattlesnake season, what do you do to keep the rattlesnakes from coming into your house?
I don't look for them.
Oh, do they ever sneak in?
No, I've never seen one.
Oh.
I've never even seen one. But unfortunately, I have neighbors who like to post them all the time.
Online or physically on a fence?
Well, they put pictures like out by where the mailbox bank is. And then there's also a couple of neighborhood association kind of.
Wait a minute. They're like,
I say loosely neighborhood association.
Have you seen this snake is what they want? Is it a pet? Or is it like a dead snake carcass that they stick on a fence pole like some head of royalty in the French Revolution?
Right. No. They will take pictures and say, beware of snakes in this area or that area. And I can guarantee you that we have them here, but I don't go looking for them. Therefore, I do not see them.
I would have so much fun if that were the protocol in my neighborhood. Like you take a picture of the poisonous snake, you post it just to scare the bejeepers out of everybody. I'd be like,
they do that with mountain lions
this
too.
Black mamba. I would just start randomly downloading pictures of snakes from all over the world. And I would just for fun, just to screw with them. I would go online. I would find like the world's most poisonous snake and I would download it and I'd be like, this snake, beware of it. I don't have to say that it's in India.
Yeah, no, the chat rooms out here are just like full of questionable, sketchy photos from game cameras. But actually, we do know that there's rattlesnakes out here, and I know people have been bitten, or people whose dogs have been bitten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking if I lived in an area where people were posting pictures of poisonous things, I would put something up every day. I'd be like, brown spider alert. I mean, somebody I know who lives in Brooklyn would complain about her neighborhood group where it was like a whole NIMBY, these people put up ugly lawn chairs. Have you seen the ugly lawn? Like, I could
I paint my
totally
house purple.
slap them down with I would move to Brooklyn and go, yeah, I'm not so worried about the ugly lawn chairs, but have you seen this black mamba snake?
See, now you're giving me bad ideas.
Oh, it would be so much fun. How can you resist? I mean, it's just a mouse click away. And you put it, do they plastic coat them so that they stay up for a while?
No.
Oh. So
No.
they get bleached out by the sun and then you're done with the snake alert.
Exactly. And usually it takes just a few hours up here because we are closer to the sun.
I'm curious, and I've always wondered about this. When people put up a lost pet sign, when their pet is found, do they ever take the sign down?
Yes.
They do.
At least in some places.
You think they do?
When our dog wandered away, I put up 1,000 signs.
And when did you take them down?
Well, he hasn't been found yet.
Right.
I'm sure they're still hanging
So they're
somewhere.
still up, right. So
we took the outside ones. The outside ones are gone. But I know a couple of places that are indoors that let you have, post on community bulletin boards or whatever. His little face is still up there because hope springs eternal that one day he's going to walk in the dog door.
Yeah, and not only we get your pet back, you can also call the National Enquirer and get a full page story.
That's right. I don't know if is there still a National Enquirer?
I don't go to that grocery store anymore, so I'm not exactly sure.
That's right. I forgot. You're Trader Joe's.
I wonder what like a sleazy tabloid would look like at Trader Joe's. Man eats 50 pounds of gluten-free cauliflower pasta and lives. Giant
woman buys shoes at Walmart
and lives. It's always either lives or and dies. It's one of those are the only two kinds of headlines, except for my favorite, which you know by heart probably, the picture of the little
Bat Boy.
No, that was Bat Boy was for a while, but I always talk about this, so I'm just going to talk about it again. My favorite Weekly World News cover, on one side there's a cute little bunny, and on the other side, because they believe in that split column photo at the Weekly World News, on the other side, like a little pile of black something or other, and the headline is, shocking, rabbit bursts into flame for no reason.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking about, it was the for no reason that got me. I thought, usually they have a reason. Yeah. When they burst into flame, they usually have a reason. And that is amazing. No reason.
I don't want to have any more kids.
Yeah, I've felt like that. I have. I've been there. I would explode.
I have a Weekly World News somewhere in a box in one of these sheds out here.
Yeah.
From
Elvis and Bat Boy?
Would have been from the early 80s.
Yes.
Yep, Elvis and Kalamazoo.
Oh, yes, you did tell me that. Yes. Well, see, it's our 1-year anniversary. We can reprise.
Right.
All our great topics.
We need a best of week.
Yes.
Oh, wait, it would be a 3-minute show.
Yeah. And have you seen this black mamba?
That's right.
I'm telling you, I would put up anything. Like what else is venomous that I could put up?
Venomous. Let's see.
Something really
cobras,
dangerous.
Of course.
Yes, King Cobra. King Cobra sighting in
King
Mumbai.
Kong.
Yes.
Why not King Kong? Bigfoot.
Everyone will know that you're not for real. It has to be plausible. It has to have a ring of authenticity. It has to be a real thing. Elephant.
Well, up here we have
badgers.
Elephant. Yeah, Chicago elephant. Why don't you just say a Chicago cub?
We may get those. We're starting to get an influx of returning wildlife in our neighborhood. And none of them eat enough rats.
Ugh. I went out this morning on our deck at about 8 o'clock, and there was an elk just standing at the side of our deck.
You promised me an elk, but I didn't see one when I came.
Yeah. This was a female, probably like a teenager, because she was bigger than a deer, but not as big as a full-grown elk.
Mm-hmm.
And she just kind of looked at me and then walked away and walked along the gate, along the dog yard.
Mm-hmm.
And Scarlett Johansson, the little corgi, was out there looking for a place to do her business, looked up and saw the elk and didn't even bark.
I think the expression there is scaredless.
Yeah, something like that.
She had to, and then she didn't.
Speaking of your black mambos and king cobras,
Yes.
so I noticed during our last podcast that there's like this huge spider web right in the corner of my studio. That scared me.
Your eye surgery is working.
Well, no, I see it again. I asked Frankie to like knock it down and dispose of it, and all he did was move it. And now it looks like, with my eye surgery, it looks like there is a 6-inch spider.
Oh.
And I'm hoping it's just dog hair or fuzz. But now I'm like, now that I've seen it, the only way I can really know what it is to get close to it with these special dollar store glasses.
Up you go, up on a ladder.
Not gonna happen. But yeah.
Well, we'll find out on the next podcast what it really was. What was it? A spider? Was it a collection of dog hair and a dust bunny, or was it a black mambo?
Mambo. That makes me want to dance.
That's a different vowel. That is a different vowel.
Mambo.
No, that's mamba. Mamba? I can't keep track anymore. After a while, it all starts to sound like an innovative dessert. Mambo. No, you're right. Mambo's the dance. And mamba is the poisonous thing that I want to put on a sign at the end of your street just to scare all your neighbors.
I'm too old to dance.
All right.
Gary, I can't even get close to it now.
Well, if we don't record our next session, I'll know what happened. It was the spider in the corner. Thanks for listening to Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. If you'd like to do us a great favor, please leave us a good review wherever you hear this podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Turi Ryder's She Said What. And you might also enjoy my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air, which you can find any place you buy your books or on Amazon.